Hello and welcome to your weekly charge of all the very latest electric car news. On the show this week, we're going to be talking about how the busiest August since we launched the brand in 2020 for new car launches and reveals is fast turning into the busiest September. And how Nicola and I in particular needed to go and lie in a darkened room for a while. Um, yes, of course, we will also be dipping into the post bag, answering all your car buying questions. Welcome to the Kilowatt Half Hour. We're back. We're sorry. We know we've been unreliable recently. I'm Ginny.
I'm Nicola.
And I'm Mike.
So we have a very good reason for not being here regularly because it's been nuts. In the last 10 days, we've basically published a video every day.
Yeah.
Every single day. You've been sleeping in airports, basically, haven't you, Nick?
Yeah. Sleeping in airports, traveling everywhere, doing all of the I don't know what day it is today. No idea what day it is today.
It's podcast day. That's what it is.
It's podcast day, yeah. But then you've been to Munich and back, and then Munich and back, and then followed by Munich and back and Munich and back.
I know the studios of Munich really well, actually, incredibly well. And great that you go to Munich, but actually I've just seen a whole succession of studios with concept cars in. Can you remember, Mike, a time when we've seen recently as many cars has come out as this? Because, I mean, I was just looking at the list just before we started recording this, and we have had 9 full-form videos go to live on the YouTube channel, along with 4 shorts. But also all of that stuff has been written up on the website with previews and reviews and Q&As. And I don't know what happened, but I don't know why there's been so much, but I can't remember a time as busy as this in a long time.
No, I mean, you sometimes you've had 3 or 4. I think it's just the fact that almost maybe you had that volume of new cars being launched at shows like this, but because 80-90% of them are electric,
yeah,
we're getting all of them. I mean, yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I don't know how many thumbnails videos I've had to do, but I'm getting value for money out of my Photoshop, and I thought I'd never say that.
For those of you that don't know our delightful thumbnails that encourage you all to click on our fabulous videos on YouTube, Mike is our head of design. So Mike is responsible for those.
Yeah, and you need to work really hard lately because you need to stop me and Jenny looking so tired. Andy, thank you.
He uses Photoshop on us. Do you mind?
No, that would be dishonest of me to use that. I would have to declare it, wouldn't I?
Slim down my thighs a little bit.
If you've been enhanced, no.
I can think of a few cars recently that you should have that would have benefited from your photoshopping.
Yes.
I mean, some of those thumbnails where you're standing on a motor show stand with about 14,000 other people, which that's there have been a lot of painting out of people in some of those thumbnails. But it's been. I'm glad it's slightly kind of easing off a bit now.
It is. Should we do just a quick roundup then of just some of the stuff we've seen? Because in the last podcast we sort of started to talk about a bit of this. So we'd seen the VW ID Cross. I was able to, I think, talk about in that last podcast the BMW iX3 Neue Class. And you've been to see its probably main rival, haven't you? The Merc GLC.
Yeah.
So they're both
GLC.
Yeah, that's going to be a great head-to-head when we get those together. What did you make?
I'll be honest, I really like it. Now, here's the thing, right? I think when I saw photos of it beforehand, I went, oh God, like the front grille I was not a fan of. But then I saw it in the metal and I changed my mind, which I didn't think would happen. And weirdly, over the last couple of launches that I've been on, over the last week or so, myself and some others, like car journos from other websites or whatever, we were all talking about it, and the majority that haven't seen it in the metal don't like it, but the ones that have do.
Okay,
which I find quite interesting.
That's interesting. What do you think of them both, Mike? Just from somebody who, obviously you've done the thumbnails, you've looked at the pictures a lot, but that it's interesting that those two they are really going to be primed up against each other, aren't they? Which would you go for? iX3 Neue Class, Merc GLC?
I think that I'm kind of hoping this is the start of a design renaissance at BMW, because I think after the i3 there hasn't been much to kind of really hang your hat on, and I think that. I think it'd be one of those cars that works better in the metal, because there are some funny angles of that car in the pictures and the images. Well, and an awful lot of very thin horizontal lines, which I don't know how that's going to actually work in reality. But I would say of the two, the i3, the iX3 is probably more my sort of thing. But,
fair. And actually, I think the grill on the BMW looks really. It's like a really nice, slimmer nod to the old BMWs of the 90s and the 80s. I thought was really nice, rather than like the beaver teeth.
And I love the fact that they've dechromed, and there was a very, that's their ideal, is you dechrome because they don't want to put chrome on the cars anymore because it's the issues around sustainability. But I think just having so much, those chrome elements as lights look brilliant. There is an option, that is of course an options pack, so you can opt to have the traditional chrome if that's what you really want. But I think I would agree with you. I really do. I like that car. I've yet to be convinced by the GLC, but then I've not seen it in the metal. So.
Yeah, see, this is the thing. I think maybe give it time, and then I feel like once you see it in person, you'll go, okay, well, that's quite nice, yeah. And that's exact face I made. Oh, okay, that's quite nice.
And that voice.
Yeah.
The one I love that I haven't seen, and I don't need to see it of it, is the Polestar 5. I really like the look of that. Mike's smiling. Mike doesn't agree.
I know. I don't. I don't mind. I'm just thinking of I watched Nicola's video for it last night, so it just made me laugh, just smiling. The performance aspect of it just seemed to be
It's like ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Crazy. Yeah.
It's stupidly fast, but easily one of the best cars I've driven in a long time. They're on to something, because we went to, there's a place called Millbrook, which is like a test track for cars, and they've got like real roads, and they've got a big hyper bowl where you can drive it at top speed around in a big, it's literally called a bowl for a reason, it's just a big circle, and then you've got like hill climb routes and stuff like that. And we drove it around all of it, and it was stunning. The work that they've put into this car on how it performs is so impressive, and I know it's really expensive. That's the problem with that car, because it's going to be very, very expensive. But if you've got the money, I think you'd be stupid not to go for one. I mean, we all loved the Polestar 2 when that first came out, and then they kind of they sort of they churned out the 3 and the 4, and we all went, oh, okay, yeah, very nice. And then the 5 comes along, and they're making that their new main car. I can't remember the word for that. My brain's very tired.
Flagship.
Halo.
That's the one, flagship. Thank you very much. And you can tell the work that's gone into it, and I think it's going to be selling like hotcakes to the wealthy.
To the very wealthy. But what's been interesting for me, I think, is seeing some more affordable cars coming through. So we saw Epiq. We had a little Skoda Epiq. They surprised us by popping on stage very briefly and then took it away. And Manos and I were like, quick, run, get the cameras, in the midst of all the chaos and the noise, and managed to say what we know about it, which isn't very much. But that was good to see. And I think it's a shame. I feel a bit sorry for Skoda, because they're the last ones to get that car to market. So the Cupra version of that car and the VW ID Polo version of it, they'll all come first. And it's a shame, actually, because I think we're ready for the Epiq, and it does look great. It really, I was like, that looks nice. And it's all that new design language, which I've been hearing a lot about recently in talking to designers and looking at concept cars. But it's the first car you can see this new sort of look that they're going for, and I do think it looks pretty cool. I liked it a lot. What did you?
Well, if you want to discuss other affordable EVs that would sort of be going up against it, I think the Epiq is utterly adorable and a really lovely looking thing, and I really hope it does well for Skoda. But then on the other end of the stick, I drove the Nissan Micra last week.
Oh yes, okay. Lazy boy.
Mike doesn't agree with this. How do you feel about the Micra, Mike?
Well, this is the thing. I'm going to be on a slightly different page to you guys, aren't I? Because I think if we give the Renault 5 10 out of 10, and the Nissan is the same car but looks slightly different, but you got paddles, you got a couple of other things on the Nissan. Surely it's as good. No?
Name me the couple of other things.
Well, I can't now because
no, exactly.
Listen, literally, and the Renault will get the paddles soon, so then there'll be nothing.
Okay. Is it the same? Yeah, if you were blindfolded, you wouldn't be blindfolded and driving it, would you? Okay, that's daft, but you know what I mean.
But so in the Renault 5, and obviously I
Yeah.
did the walk around. My challenge is that I had the full design deep dive into the Renault 5 when it came out, with all the history of the roof on the it's got the sort of the little squares on the roof, and that's the throwback, and all these Easter eggs for the original car, and
the Chanel lipstick gear selector.
Lipstick gear selector, and then it's got the little cockerel there inscribed in the windscreen, and all this stuff that was so bespoke for the Renault 5. And you literally get in the Micra and you go, oh no, they really haven't changed anything.
Yeah.
And I think that's my issue with it. Is it's a perfectly fine car, and there may be people who don't like the way the Renault 5 looks. I haven't met anyone yet, and I think they're probably not best to advise anyone on design if they don't like it, because it looks bloody great. But I don't know, it just is a bit like, oh come on guys, just make it more you at least. But no, they've done
they don't have any money though, do they? They haven't got run two brass farthings together, Nissan, at the moment, do they?
I get that, but at the same time, we went out to Rotterdam to go and drive it. And you see it outside, and the exterior, you kind of go, oh, it's very sweet. Yeah, okay, I can see the nods to a Micra here. I quite like the headlights, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, okay, it looks similar kind of shape to the Renault 5. I can see what they're trying to do. And then I sat inside it, and I was offended by it. I was just like, are you kidding? Are you kidding me? I cannot believe this is...
Yeah, but you've driven both.
Shot for shot.
It's got perso mode. It's even got the same. I mean,
well, that's good, isn't it? That works well. Perso mode's
brilliant. Mike,
it's like badge engineering gone mad.
This is what's happened, right? The Renault 5 come along, absolutely smashed it out of the park, won all of the awards, and knew that they landed a brilliant, brilliant car. And Nissan went, that's a great car. Let's put a Nissan badge on it. Yeah. That's what's happened. And they've changed nothing. They've changed nothing in the suspension, nothing in the dampers. We understand
that many car brands... You don't need to.
Listen, because many car brands, I understand they share parts, right? It's a cost-saving thing, and it helps a lot of companies if they're struggling financially. Brilliant, right? We know that it happens across the whole Stellantis brand, but each brand and each car still has its own personality. You know that even though the Fiat 600e is very similar to the Jeep Avenger, and it's very similar on the interior, but they drive very different. They have their own personality. This does not have its own personality. And if I was Renault, I would be livid. Said it. Done it. Done.
Well, I think Renault did sign off on it, so I don't think they'll be offended. No. But I completely agree. I mean, I'm really not. I think it looks quite cute. But I just was like, oh, come on, make an effort. Don't copy your mate's homework so precisely.
Can you mark it down for a lack of brand ambition?
We can mark it down for a lack of originality.
Do you think that matters to people?
I mean, it's a good car because the Renault 5 is a good car. That's all you can say about it. You can go, yes, this is a good car, but the Renault 5 is also a good car.
I think so.
It's a good car because the Renault 5 is a good car.
Let's talk about the rating system, because I think this is Mike's issue: is that the Renault 5 is like a 10 out of 10 car. At the moment, the Nissan Micra is an 8 out of 10 car, a very, very respectable, good score. For me, those extra 2 stars on the Renault 5 go because people look at it and come up to me and ask me questions about it. I see it and it makes me happy. It is a most fun, joyous thing. That is where the extra, they made all that brilliant effort with the Easter eggs and all the subtle design touches that throw back to the past, and the charging 5 on the front and all that amazing stuff. It is a brilliant piece of design, and they get the extra 2 stars for me because of that. Nicola, would you agree? That's where stars go.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm absolutely. I know Mike's not, but I'm absolutely with you on that.
The girls are ganging up, and Mike, let us know, what do you think in the comments below. Are Nicola and I too harsh on the Nissan Micra? Which to be fair, is an 8 out of 10 car. It's not bad. We're not being mean about it.
No, it drives like a Renault 5. The interior is a Renault 5. There's still a cockerel on the windscreen, which I spoke to Tom Barnard about, and Tom Barnard was told it's an origami version of the car.
I asked them that. When I went to look at it for the first time. They told me that as well. I was like, Anyway, let's move on to a car that looks nothing like anything else. The car that will become the next Ioniq 3, the Hyundai Concept 3, which
Oh, yes.
honestly, just not another SUV. You got to applaud them for that. I think they have knocked that car out the park. I think they have done an utterly brilliant job with the design. And I was told that it's 70-ish, 60 to 75% there. I mean, obviously things like that brilliant ducktail spoiler on the back, that's going to go. But there's so much on that car that is just fabulous, I think. And I know, yes, you might loved it because it reminded you of what was it? Was it the Velo? No, what
The
did it remind you?
Veloster.
Velostar, that was
Veloster.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I never know how you say that. Velostar, that one. But I just thought it looked... sometimes, we walk into these rooms of the studio and you open the curtains, you see the car for the first time and you go, yeah, okay, that's nice or great. That, I just thought, this is great. This looks really different and really original. And Jesus, please make it look like that. How
do you feel about that one, Mike?
I don't mind it. I think it'll be. I think the devil will be in that 40% that Ginny says that isn't going to make it, and I think that will be a slight deal breaker. I'm looking at it now. I'm just imagining it on sort of 2-inch smaller wheels, none of that yellow glass, the ducktail spoiler gone, and
it'll still have a spoiler though. It will still have a spoiler.
I don't mind. I'm going to reserve. I think it's a lovely concept. I think it's a really clever concept. The
thing I would say about Hyundai is, though, do you remember when we first saw the Concept 7? And of course, the interior looked nothing like.
It may be the interior that's that 40%. If so,
that's what
maybe.
That's what it is, and even elements of the interior, like the guy Simon Loseby, I know you've met as well many times, Mike, who's brilliant, who's that Hyundai head of style, I think is his title. He was talking all about wanting to make car interiors less stressful. So if you want, could you de-screen your car and literally say, I don't want all those screens, just want it to be able to sync to my phone. And just like taking it all down a notch, but still having buttons. And I think they're so clever in what they do. But what I'm hoping is that, as with the Concept 7, it was Ioniq 7, wasn't it, that became the Ioniq 9? That interior, of course, was nothing like the one on the real car, but it did look externally very close. And I think if you look at Ioniq 6, again, very close. So they're very good, Hyundai, as are Kia actually, at making their production cars look very close to the concepts. They tend not to do the Cupra Tindaya thing, which is they show you something and you swipe right on it, and when you meet it in real life, it looks nothing like the thing you swiped right on. They're good at not catfishing us, I think.
Okay, that's good.
And of course, the irony of all concept cars is that the production version is signed off 3 years ago, and then they create the concept car 6 weeks before a motor show to kind of like hint at everything that's going to be in the real thing. So the general perception is the concept car comes out and then the production version then follows on years after. But we all know the reality is the fact that the production version would have been signed off 3 years ago.
But that doesn't make any sense. Why do it like that?
They don't always do that. They're often worked on simultaneously.
Yeah, that's not sat around for 3 years though, has it? That concept car. Whereas the production version will be.
And but I think also we're seeing the much quicker turnarounds on cars now as well, which I think is meaning that they are worked on simultaneously. So anyway, but that's what I know from my experience of talking to designers. That yes, that it's not. They don't want to like let us down too much.
No.
So we saw the Cupra Tindaya, which is just like that big, massive Edward Scissorhandsy thing, and then we saw the
weird-looking car.
Yeah, I really loved that Skoda concept. Skoda. I thought that was really pretty, which was obviously what may well be the next Octavia, which is of course a massive seller for them. I thought that was really lovely and restrained and just like pared down. And again, it's got those fabulous rear hinge doors, and of course it won't get those.
I think it works nicely from some angles, really nicely from some angles. And I think the front looks great. There's a shot of you sitting in front of it, and that design language, to use a horrible industry term, it does seem to be extending quite nicely onto sort of bigger cars as well, doesn't it? So
Mm.
the side and the back end is a little bit sort of hearse-like, but I'm sure that's
what you want in an estate car, isn't it?
well, I guess it is. Yeah, I mean, you got to think of other markets for that car. But yeah, I think it was obviously it's a long way off, isn't it? We're talking, it's the next generation platform basically as well, isn't it? It's going to be on SSP, so it's going to be a while away.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think the rear lights are lovely on that new design language that the Epiq's got as well, and the Vision O had a slightly kind of more enhanced version of that. Anyway, if you want to see all of these cars that we've been talking about and been to see, you can check out the videos on the Electrifying YouTube channel. We've got,
of which there are many.
There are many.
Yes.
And we've also got loads over at electrifying.com with a lot more information on them, previews and Q&As and all that kind of stuff.
I'm just having a little look at the notes, and it says, Mike, soul searching.
Why have you been soul searching, Mike?
I've been
What's the matter? Do you want to talk about it?
No, I'm looking for a used Kia Soul.
Right.
Do you know what? I was talking about that car yesterday. Was it you and I were talking about the Soul?
We were, because I was talking about my hatred for the Nissan Cube,
which I quite like.
Talking about your love for it, and then we started talking about the Kia Soul, which I love. I love the Kia Soul. Shoe.
You need another car, Mike. I feel like you have a lot of cars, and I don't know if you need a used Kia Soul.
I've got enough junk. I don't need any more.
Why are you searching for a Soul then?
So as a friend at Running Club, she had a Skoda Roomster, and really likes unusual cars. She has a Yaris. Was that kind of odd sort of Yaris that looked like a Roomster as well? So she had a Yaris Verso, had one of those. So kind of likes odd looking cars. And asked me to drop a short list of electric
cars.
She wants to go electric, and I thought, well, a Kia Soul jumped straight to the top of the queue for that. But you know what? They are not hanging around for very long. As soon as she finds one on, the used one, by the time she calls up, and the car dealer does the usual kind of, I've got 2 other people coming to have a look at that this afternoon. So if you're interested, you better move quick. And both times she hasn't been able to get to it till the weekend. But through 3 times she's had that. She got there and it's been sold. So yeah, they're not hanging around for very long.
It doesn't surprise me because it's a really well-spec'd car.
Yeah, it is. Everyone, you know, car, isn't it?
It's really nice to drive. It's one of the most comfortable rides I've had in an electric car. It's amazing, but also it's efficient.
Yes.
I've done a lot of long journeys in that car in summer and winter, and that was one of my big takeouts from that, was how efficient it is. I have a massive soft spot for that, actually. I love that car.
It's a don't underestimate the power of the Soul. It's a really, really good car to drive. I remember driving it when it first came out, and I was like, bloody hell, this is good, isn't it? For such a car that I wouldn't normally look twice at. But actually, this is pretty solid, and it made me fall in love with it.
It was my first international EV launch.
Was it?
It was. So the Leaf had come out, but I'd driven the Leaf in the UK, and there was the Leaf, there was the i3, and there was the Soul. And actually, they invited me out to Namyang, which is their sort of research and development centre where the design studios are in Korea, to do the small group to drive it. And it was really weird because I was quite nervous about driving it. I don't know why. I've driven so many cars before because electric was still so new then.
Yeah.
This is going back a long time. This is going back to probably 20, when would that have been? Like 2011, 2012 maybe?
It was a long time ago.
Yeah, Leaf was 2011, wasn't it? So it'd be 2014, something like that.
But I drove it early. There were pre-productions. And I remember we had like all these deep dives into like what the battery technology and what they thought the range could be and all of this stuff. It's really interesting. But I think I've got a soft spot for it because of that as well. And I just think it's a great car. So yeah, good luck. Maybe you should find one for me and Nick as well. I think we'd
I
don't know, tracking
feel
down
like
one of them.
This is a universal agree that it's a great car, and we're happy for you to find your friend one. That's great.
Okay.
Oh, well, thanks for the approval. I'll pass that on to her. Yeah.
Although she wants a weird car, the weirdest car that I can think of is still the PT Cruiser. Do you remember the Chrysler PT Cruiser? It's not electric, but that was a weird looking thing. Sorry.
That was weird. That was one of those cars that went from being super cool and everybody wanted to drive it to everyone hating it within about 6 months, wasn't it?
Is that's the one that looks a cross between a London cab and a hearse?
Well, I've never heard that before, but it's probably not a bad description. Right, let's talk about new stuff. What's been going on in the news, Mike?
Well, we've got a few things happening in the news. The Geely EX5. I don't know if we can contain our excitement here for another Chinese brand with a mid-size SUV. I'm going to do a competition next week. I think I'm just going to get a picture of all, like 4 or 5 of them, take the badges off, and see if you can name which ones they are.
Let's do that.
Because, I was trying to find, I realize I'm getting old. I don't know anyone that's in the hit parade now, and I'm not able to recognize. I'm not able to distinguish my mid-size Chinese SUVs from each other. But I don't think I'm alone in that. And I think if perish the thought that there's a crime committed, and normally if you say, oh yeah, they were driving a white Corsa, or they're in an early 2000s Mini. If you're committing a crime and you're in one
a Chinese mid-sized SUV,
you're going to get away with it. There's no one's going to know what it is. They're just going to go, well, it was kind of like a car.
Yes. It was a car, a mid-sized kind of car.
These felons are going to get away with it. So yeah, if you're planning a life of crime, I suggest you buy a Geely EX5 or a Leap Motor.
Good solid
A4
advice
or
there.
whatever it's called. Yeah. So anyway, to be serious for a second, it's 32 grand, 60 kilowatt hour battery, 267-mile range, 100 kilowatt hour charging. It's going to be price competitive. It's got loads of kit. I actually quite like the interior on it. It looks it's white and blue with 2-tone interior. It looks quite nice. But
I'm going to see it in a couple of weeks, so I think it'll be quite interesting to see. And do you know what? Geely they're massive. They're one of the biggest car makers in the world. They're making the Volvo EX30. It's going to be fine. There's going to be nothing wrong with that car at all. It will be absolutely great. It will drive well.
Exactly. We're a nation that buys, paints the house magnolia and listens to Coldplay. So we like bland in this country. So it will not be a problem.
Selling that car. Actually, I've got a lot of different colours in my house. I do like Coldplay though.
This is actually more of a kind of like a green. It's not a very sort of greeny magnolia. So I'm just it's not magnolia.
I think that was for me the refreshing thing about going back to the Concept 3, which will become the Ioniq 3, just that it wasn't another SUV. It wasn't like another, it would have been very easy for them to have done like a mini version of the Ioniq 5. And when you looked at it, you could see both the Ioniq 5 and the 6 in it, actually, in its lines, but it had a nice look. And also, we managed to do a really quick smash and grab video of the new Leap motor, VO5.
Oh, yeah.
Which had no interior underneath because it was just like an exterior mule and you couldn't even open the doors. But again, not an SUV as well, small hatch. And, I'm with you. I think we've reached peak SUV, peak screens, peak SUV. Let's do something else now, please, everybody. And that's why cars like, I think that Vision O as well, an estate/hearse are, we should welcome.
Do you know what everyone should do? They should just get the Renault 5 and just stick their own badge on it.
Why not? It's a good car.
Seems to be the going thing. It's fine.
Okay. Talking to Renault, we got a Renault 4 van. I don't know why I'm really excited.
Bonkers. We seem to have this every week. There's another electric car brand saying there's a van version of this car. We had the Enyaq the other week. There's the Citroen EC3 that's the van as well. So the latest one is a Renault 4 van. It may not come to the UK yet. It's under evaluation for UK, but it will come. Basically, it's the Renault 4 with the back seats taken out. But it's got 930 litres space, which is loads, 375 kilos payload. It's converted by a company in France. I guess
they're not doing the conversions themselves the way...
They're not doing... No, it's a bit like the Skoda ones. They all tend to get put out to someone else because they're basically the production car, but they can be converted. They don't need any kind of changes as they leave the production line. So, but I guess Renault got slight headache in so much that they've already got the Kangoo EV, which is quite a good van. So I guess there's a degree of cannibalization there. It would be cheaper though. I did the sums just now. So the Kangoo's 34 grand, which is a lot of money for a van, isn't it? Anyway, and the Renault 4, if you do the conversion from euros, is 27. That would be about 27,000 in the UK with the plug-in grant. So it would be quite a bit cheaper.
And it would look nice as well.
Yeah.
I love the Renault 4.
That's really great. Oh yeah, I'm just looking at it now. The Renault 4 is a car that has massively grown on me. I think my problem when I first saw it was I was still so much like in the first throes of having a crush on the Renault 5. It just was a bit like, oh, it's really nice, but it's not a Renault 5,
I know, but don't worry about it because Nissan are going to stick a badge.
Oh, but I do, and I think, but also, do you remember we had one in grey to film with, the Renault 4, and it was a bit like, okay, and then we got one in that amazing, like, minty metallic
that was
green colour.
lovely.
Yeah,
That was
that
so
minty
nice.
green.
In some colours, that Renault, the Renault 4 looks absolutely banging. It really does. I love it. And it's good. Oh, that makes me happy. I like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's coming. Yep. And
Anything else?
Mercedes of the old, the thing that's going to be like, the holy grail of electric, the solid state battery, which we hear about every kind of
Oh,
year,
God.
and then it's always coming next. It's like it's worse than Elon Musk's full self driving coming. It's never going to happen. Anyway, Mercedes are getting as close as anyone has in that they've just done a test of their own solid state one, did 835 miles, and apparently still had 100 or so miles left on the range.
Did it really?
Did it? Yeah.
Did it though? Was it going 20 mile an hour? Did it though?
No, it wasn't. It drove from Malmo to Sweden. Tom's written the story. It's even got the route if you're interested in going on doing that route again. But it was all autostrada.
How slow were they doing that route though? Did it?
It wasn't like the Polestar one. Don't want it. It was a lot of.
Okay.
Anyway, interesting from this story was that the battery's been developed by High Performance Powertrains in Brixworth, who, as you know, build the Formula One engines for Mercedes. So it's an interesting UK angle to it. Now, obviously, solid state batteries, not everyone would sort of understand what the problem is here, but they are inherently fragile. They're inherently hard to make. So yes, it's incredibly expensive. They do have much higher energy density, so 25% more energy. So you can, for a smaller battery, you can get a longer range, and they charge up a lot quicker as well. But
expensive, I'll say that again.
Yeah, and very expensive. Nobody has cracked the kind of mass production element of it. So yes, I mean they're
expensive.
Have I mentioned that they're expensive as well? But they are.
I've heard they're really expensive.
Are they?
Yeah.
So they should be. Mercedes reckon 2028, but it will be
right.
But it will be. I mean, I imagine they will probably do a version of the EQS or something with it on, and it will be a gazillion pounds. But at least they'll have that kind of cachet of being the first to market. You're not going to see them in Dacia Springs.
Yeah, we can try it along with the Porsche wireless charging. We can give them both a try.
Well, yes. But I mean, I know we're all knocking this, but I think it is a development, and it isn't just something that's been proven in a lab. They've actually driven it. I know Nicola's, not sure what speed they went, but I mean, I can put you in touch with.
What made me laugh was the quote that came through from on the press release, and if I read this on one more press release about electric cars, I might have to be like PRs. The solid state battery is a true game changer for electric mobility. Literally every blooming week, it's a game changer. It's a game changer.
But it's the thing
that's because everyone that doesn't drive electric will go, well, I'm not going to buy an electric car unless it can do 1,000 miles on one charge.
This is the thing that people pick up on because, the Daily Express or whatever will pick up on that, and they'll say, when I go to running club next Monday, I'll get tapped on the shoulder and say, I bet you feel a fool for buying that because there's a new one coming out that does 900 miles. You think, no, I'm not.
But just going back to the iX3 Neue class with that range of, was it 425 topping at 500 miles? I was thinking, God, I don't want to drive 500 miles without stopping. I mean, it's great to do it, but I wouldn't want to do that. It's my worst. I mean, I like driving, but I don't want to drive 500 miles.
I'm going to need to go wee-wees at some point.
I'm going to need caffeine and wee-wees.
Yeah.
And sweets.
Yeah.
Anyway. What else have we got, Mike? Should we do have we got a bargain? Have we got a
We've got a Barnard's bargain. Yeah, he sent me through. Obviously, he sends his apologies for not being here, but he has sent me his bargains. And the first one is a car I think we all love, a Renault, a Fiat 500. So it's chosen a duff colour. It's grey, which may be the reason why it's a good price. But it's
I like that grey colour actually.
It's quite nice. It's got and it's a sort of red one, so it's got red highlights. So it's not.
Yeah, it's got the red wing mirrors. I think it looks quite. It's got a bit of makeup on.
Exactly. So it's a 72 plate. It's 13.5 grand, which is actually, according to Tom, nearly £700 lower than the book price for that car.
Wow.
It's 5,000 miles, 97% battery health, and we know that because it's through Car 360, which supply battery health certificates with their cars, so that's always good to know. So 13.5 grand. That's not bad.
It's not bad at all. Yeah,
good.
It looks a tidy little car, and they do. It's the reason that we partner with Car 360, because we do have these preferred partners in our listings, is because we all went up there like about. And I think you probably might maybe the only member of the team that didn't go up. There was like loads of us went up, and we were all like looking around the prep and the paint shop, and
it's huge. It's a huge place.
It's proper. I mean, we were all like, their standards are really good. So anyway, yes, that is on the website at the moment on our used car listings, along with lots of others. So do go over there and check it out.
It's electrifying.com/used-cars. So there we go.
Why do we have a hyphen in it? That seems weird, but anyway, we do. Okay, fine.
All right, Lease. It's got a lease for you. A would you rather? Right, so you
love a would you rather.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm ready.
Okay. MG4 XPower, 64 kilowatt hour.
Look at her face. Nicola's face just was like,
Or a Volkswagen ID3 Match Pro, 79 kilowatt. They're both, well, the MG is cheaper. The MG is a tenner cheaper a month, £357. And that's for an identical sort of finance deal with 9 months down, 48 months, 8,000 miles a year. So would you have the XPower, or would you go for the comfort of a Volkswagen?
I'm getting an XPower. This is just an easy question to answer.
Really?
Yeah. The launch control on that thing is so much fun. So much fun. It's an absolute joy. I know that it's a little bit more basic on the interior, and yes, the ID3 will be more comfortable and be a little bit more plush, but the XPower goes so quick on your launch control that your phone falls off the phone holder. It's just great.
Okay. So we've got Nicola down for the XPower. Buckley, what are you going for?
I'm going to go for the XPower too. Just because I just really like the idea of Nicola and I going to Longcross in them and doing, like see who can be fastest off the line.
Okay.
Quite funny. I think the XPower, just because for the fun factor, I think that's a lot of fun for the money.
Mm-hmm.
And the ID3, it's a good deal on that. But for me, I'm just feeling like I'm feeling in a fun mood, so I want a fun car at the moment. So yay to fun.
Okay, well, you're both wrong. The correct answer is the ID3.
Do you know what? Stick a Nissan badge on both of them.
I really didn't get on with that XPower at all. I hated it. It's a horrible thing. Anyway,
dear, I can really feel the intro to a new video coming up where we just stick Nissan badges on cars. Okay, this is where we're going to ask you to do something for us, because if you are watching the Kilowatt Half Hour on YouTube, which we know loads of you do, we thank you very much. Please let us know what you think in the comments below. You can ask all your questions, but could you also do us a favour? Could you go to Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts and give us a follow there too? Maybe even leave a comment, recommend us.
Yeah, and I think it's only right that you share it with maybe like an EV curious or a converted or a friend to see if they would enjoy it as well.
Yes.
I think that's just a really nice gesture. We don't ask you for much, but we're asking for this, and I think that's fair.
And it would make us happy, wouldn't it, Nick?
Yes, it would. Yes.
It would make Mike giddy with excitement if you did that, wouldn't it, Mike?
Be crazy excited, yeah.
Calm down, Mike.
Oh, Mike. Right, car questions. Should we do it? Who's got one?
Shall I start with David Payton says,
Hi, David Payton.
Hi, David. I am a disabled driver. 5 to 6 months ago, you did an item on the Kia PV5. Since then, I've heard nothing, and my local Kia dealer knows nothing about it. Is it an idea that just ran out of steam, or is it actually happening? Any update would be massively appreciated.
Local Kia knows nothing about it. What's that about?
Because it is happening. This is a definite thing. And I'm actually going to go and drive it in the next few weeks. It is a real thing. It is happening. Now, the conversion version, the wheelchair adaptability version on the PV5, which it is going to get, which looks fantastic. That isn't going to be there initially. That is coming. But there's a whole range of different body styles being done on the PV5. And we were just talking about Renault with the Renault 4 using a conversion company. Actually, what Kia have done to speed up the whole process is they've built a factory in Korea, and they're going to do all the conversions themselves. So you don't have to get any of those awkward aftermarket accessories, all of that kind of thing. So it's definitely coming. What I will do when I'm out there with them, I'll just try and find out a little bit more about that, David. But I think, the PV5 itself, we're going to get next year, some early next year. But the conversion one, I will find out more about, but it is definitely coming. It is a real thing.
Okay.
Nice.
Fantastic. Should I do the next one?
Do the next one because I've lost where we are.
Should I do the next one? Dan and Shan?
Yeah, you're not allowed to reply to this one because you.
Oh, okay.
You already know
I'll do the next one. So Dan and Shan. Hi, Dan and Shan. I love those names, Dan and Shan. That's nice. So we recently reached out to you for advice on a used family EV to replace our Hyundai Wind Knife.
The Ioniq, the original Ioniq was the wind
knife.
I've never heard that before.
Oh, it was the one that did like sort of 7 or 8 miles per kilowatt hour. It was just like insanely efficient.
I've never heard of
it was known as the wind knife
before.
I've not put
brilliant.
that in. That's what people call them.
I love that. So we have a toddler and a baby on the way, looking to have 3 kids total in the next few years. You're such an organised couple.
Cool, well done.
Going to need to get a lot of sleep while you. I think straight away just get an ID buzz because you've got a kip in the back. Anyway, we've whittled it down to 2. One of us loves the Enyaq for its value, its interior, and most importantly, its boot space. The other loves the style of the Mustang Mach-E and wants to live a little. Which would you go for in our shoes? Bearing in mind they've got a toddler, a baby on the way, and are also looking to have a third in the next few years. Which of those 2 would you go for? And they're saying also it's really frustrating that so few cars have 3 second-row ISOFIX. Mach-E and the Enyaq don't. Just the Model 8, the Lingo, the Partner, the new 3008 and 5008. But you could get one of those massive 3 triple car seats that Nikki has.
Yeah, that's a really cool one. She's got
for that. Okay, I'm going to just recuse myself from this because, as we know, which one I would be telling them to go for. So I'm going to hand that over to my 2 colleagues, to Nicola.
Okay. I'm not a parent, so I don't know if I'm the right person to give advice on this. But my gut instinct would go, just because you have children doesn't mean that you can't go for something that's a little bit cooler and a little bit more fun. Which, as much as I love the Enyaq, I feel like maybe a Mach-E might be a more fun way to go if that's what he's leaning towards. So that then maybe when the kids are not in the car, then you turn on the fake V8 noise and you have a jolly old time. That's how I feel.
Yeah. Mike?
Okay. I'm going to be the opposite. I'm going to say the Enyaq because I think if it's the performance is the bit that you want to live a little, well, they do a VRS, that's 340 horsepower, 545 newton meters of torque. I mean, that's going to be as quick as the GT is.
Yeah, no, sorry. It says the other loves the style of the Mustang Mach-E.
Oh, it's the style.
It's the style of the Mach-E. Well, in which case, I mean, style, as we know from the earlier discussion, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, whether you like the look of something or not. So I think you would have to, if you prefer the look of the Mach-E, then go for that. But I mean, I think the Enyaq's the better car of the 2.
I think for your practical lifestyle, the Enyaq. But interestingly, I was talking to Zach, my son, last night actually. I'd picked him up from college in the Renault 5, and we were just chatting about cars. And I said, which of all the cars we've had, like that fabulous, the G5 Mercedes G580, all the different electric cars we've had. Which one do you really like? And he said, that Mustang, the Mach-E. I really like it.
People do love them. Yeah.
And it was a long time. I mean, it's a long, long time ago since I've not had that car for a few years. And he was just like, I just thought it was really cool. And I really like, and it sort of
people forget about it.
Really, that he said that because he's really into cars. I mean, his dad works in the car industry as well, so he likes cars and knows cars. And it was like, oh, okay, I wasn't expecting to say that, but it is a good-looking car.
I think at the time, everyone was just really upset that they were calling it a Mustang. You can't call this a Mustang because it's not a Mustang, blah, 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 blah. But now I think we're kind of getting used to that. And then Ford obviously released the Ford Capri. And then that's more offensive than what the Mustang is. So maybe now the Mustang is kind of shining through in the horrible fart dust that the Capri left behind. So it's making people appreciate the Mustang a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean,
talk about catfishing, taking me out to see a Capri, and then I basically got an Explorer. It had the same doors and wing mirrors from the Explorer. Yeah, I mean, at least they changed some of it. Looking at you, Nissan.
Stick a Nissan badge on it. It's fine.
They still had all the wrong bit, like the awful sliders and loads of stuff that you didn't. Anyway, they're fine.
I mean, if I can go back to the original,
sorry,
I would say that in terms of design, I think I'm probably a bit overly led on the way stuff looks, but I think you have to have a car that that you want to turn around and look at as you walk away from it. And if an Enyaq doesn't do that for you, then a Mustang does. I would say always go for the one that makes you smile and that makes you look out and you see the car outside and you think, yeah, I'm glad I chose that. So yeah, I
agree.
Yeah, okay. You're just going to have to pack a little lighter, but
but not horrendously lighter.
Oh,
just a little bit.
Quite a little bit lot.
Yeah, maybe a little bit lot.
A little bit lot. Do you want to do the next one? Nev Brownlee, long time listener to the Kilowatt Half Hour-ish.
Hi, Nev. Right. Good to have the Kilowatt Half Hour back. Am I the only person who's bought an Inster? I have now done just over 3,000 miles and often travel the M6 and A14, and I've yet to see another Inster. Plenty of different EVs on the road and at public charging stops, but no other Insters. I'm surprised by this, as it is highly rated by the numerous reviewers, including yourselves. Yeah. And whilst not cheap, it's not expensive compared to many other EVs. It's great, by the way, really like it and suits my needs. Do you know what? I haven't seen any on the roads.
I've seen one.
Any Insters? I haven't seen any.
Yeah. It's a really curious thing, right, the Insta, because it's not. I mean, you're not seeing them. And I don't think they are perhaps selling in the numbers they may have hoped they would sell them in. And it's a really good car. I like it a lot. And I think a lot of us on the team, my suspicion with it is that it's the 2+2 seating. That I think, because it's kind of a lot of people in consideration for that car are probably looking for a family car as well.
Maybe.
And I think maybe that is what puts people off. The other thing is, I just wonder if, going back to this whole beauty in the eye of the beholder thing, it's got quite a strong look. I really like the way it looks. I think it's cute. I think it's a clever car. But again, maybe it is just not kind of, I don't know, crowd pleasing enough. Don't know. What's your theory on the Insta, Mike?
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think it's one of those cars that people are spending a lot of money on cars, aren't they? It's a big commitment, and if you think there's something in it that you're slightly doubtful of in terms of the way something looks, I think you become risk averse with it. I think we're probably not the best people to comment on that, because we're quite we drive a lot of things, and I personally like the wacky. The fewer people have got a car, the more I'm attracted to it. But I know a lot of other people. We've had a couple of emails in about Renault 5. And what else was it? I can't remember. It slips my mind now. Renault saying, I want to buy one, but I haven't seen many people driving them. And that it came across as that was a bit of a concern, that they weren't catching on as much as anything. And that's a Renault 5, which you think, is almost guaranteed.
Renault 5, I was just talking to the MD of Renault this morning, actually. I was at an event with him, and he was saying about that it's some, I think he said 20, there's a massive figure of people coming to that car are coming to EVs for the first time. It's getting people out of petrol cars, and they've been taken aback by the sales figures on that car. So they are being sold, and it's quite cute, because I'm running one at the moment. There's one here where I live, and we passed each other for the first time, and we did that thing that I haven't seen anyone do in ages, flashed the lights at each other and waved. It's like a really cute thing. So I think I am seeing Renaults, but also I don't think the Instas actually have been out that long, because it was a while. They kept sort of pushing it back. So I'm not actually sure that they've had that many in yet. And it may be, Nev, that you are an early adopter. I'm sure you'll see more, because it's a good car.
Good choice, though.
He's an Insta-fluencer.
It is. I like what you did there. Brilliant. Should we do a few comments?
Yeah, let's have a little look. Where are we?
Yeah. Should I do one? I got one here on the BMW iX3.
Do it.
H. Fletcher, 5906. Theoretically, this new iX3 sounds brilliant. The styling is horrendous, though. I have a new Enyaq 85X Coupe, which is a brilliant all-rounder, so I will stick with it. BYD and Tesla, to name a few, are beautiful style cars. But the BMW, no thanks. It is literally in the eye of the beholder, isn't it?
Yeah. I haven't been a fan of how BMWs have looked over the last few years, but I do feel like this latest one has made me go, okay, maybe you might win me back again.
Can I just check on another quick one on the iX3 as well, just from a B28 0C-2. I'd love to know your name, B28 0C-2, but hi. I've never liked the BMW brand, would never consider owning one. However, this new iX3 raises an eyebrow. It looks very nice. As for the Audi TT, I'm with Ginny, it's going to cost too much. They should have just gone on with calling it the R8, which we were talking about, which is just like the new TT. It's too much. It's not that affordable, fun car that we think the TT should be. So yeah, interesting. It's just completely what you're saying, wasn't it, Mike? You know, some people love it, some people hate it. It's what makes us all so different and unique.
Otherwise, supermarkets would be much smaller.
Yeah, and Deliveroo wouldn't be a business model, would it?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Have you got any comments you want to?
Well, yeah. Well, if we're going to stick on the subject of the iX3, Chris Townsend says, "I don't see why people are so excited by the iX3." He says it doesn't look anything much from the exterior, the capacitive steering wheel controls and everything else on the screen. I miss iDrive BMWs when ergonomics mattered. I'm slightly on. I mean, I do like the iX3, but I kind of agree about iDrive as much as my i3 has iDrive, so it has the wheel controls everything. The screen isn't touch at all, so I kind of know that I know it's sort of 3 clicks to the right, I'm in the sound controls, and I know 4 clicks to the left, I'm in the charging controls. I know that car inside out, and I'd much rather be doing the wheel than I am touching the screen. It sounds odd, but
no, I completely agree.
As soon as you start reaching across and kind of doing something like that, your mind's taken up. Where I can just sort of do both. Whether I've just got used to that, I don't know. But I did love iDrive. Everyone hated it when it first came out. It was so controversial, wasn't it? That wheel and everything. Mm-hmm. But I think that sort of hit peak ergonomics, really.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Do you want to go for a final comment about Munich? Right. So this is from @MigV40.
Okay.
Who said, in your roundup of the motor show, you didn't mention the Smart 4.2 making a comeback as the new #2. I'm so excited for it.
Oh. God.
I mean, bearing in mind, we have to say, you tried to cover as many cars as possible at Munich,
and it was
absolutely completely mental. Was it not at Munich?
Wasn't.
No, it was announced. It was announced as that they're going to do it, which I think was a spoiler for the fact they didn't have anything there. So
they just talked about it. So there was nothing to film and nothing. I would have been there, but you're right, we didn't mention it. So, but we will be following the story. So make sure, if you aren't already, subscribe to the channel and our podcast, because of course we'll bring you all the latest news. Are you excited about it coming back as the new #2, the Smart 4.2, Mike?
I am actually, yeah, because as a previous owner of a City Coupe, I would, I mean, there's a few challenges involved in that, but I think I'll be very pleased to see it back.
It depends on how you open the boot. If you still get to stick your finger in the a-hole, then we're good to go.
You bring it down to that same level every episode.
And long may that continue. So we're back. We will be back next week. We promise. It's not going to be like another 10 days. We've all been resting, but I think we're all refreshed and ready to go. So thanks for joining us. That is it for this episode of the Kilowatt, almost an hour. Apologies.
I mean, it's been a good podcast. It's been good enough to stick a Nissan badge on it.
Yay! See you next time, gang. Bye.
Bye.